Hey everyone, Patrick Oborn here, co-founder of Telarus. I'm here with some special guests from TPX today. I'm here with David Zahn, SVP of Marketing, and Nate Bledsoe, the Vice President of
Managed Connectivity.
So we're going to have an awesome conversation with them here today, learn a little bit more about TPX, your vision for the future, what you're doing today, and what most agents need to know to be successful selling TPX. So let's just get started. Dave and Nate, thank you guys for being here. Tell us a little bit about TPX in its current state and what many partners who may not have been paying attention maybe the last 6 months might have missed.
Well, let's start with who we are, make sure everybody knows. We're a nation's leading managed services provider focused on providing unified communication, a full suite of communication services, as well as our legacy of providing SIP trunking, but also a whole suite of managed IT services. So those services include sd-wan, and one thing that we think people don't know is that we're certainly one of the leaders, if not the leader, in providing sd-wan services. We have about 9,000 units deployed thus far, and a recent Frost & Sullivan report suggests that we're in the 8% market share rate in North America, so that's pretty cool. But the suite of managed IT services also is fortified with managed security. We have two SOCs, Security Operations Centers, one in St. Louis and the other in Portland, Maine. And that's something a lot of people don't know about us at all. And then it's rounded out with managed backup services, managed endpoint, managed Office 365. And then lastly, I'd mentioned the managed connectivity line of business. I think a lot of people want to know what is TPX doing about access, and are we getting out of the access business? And I think during this session we should talk quite a bit about that, because we brought Nate on board last year to help us really emphasize how important access is to our business, but that we're doing it differently. So
that's excellent. So you just mentioned all the things that you do. That's the vast majority, the lion's share of a company's digital infrastructure. Many of your peers are focused on one or maybe two of those elements, like maybe a UCaaS, maybe an SD-WAN, maybe a managed connectivity. But managed IT services, cybersecurity, Office 365, I mean, that's a pretty wide portfolio of products. Tell us why TPX is ideal to handle all of those things and do it well, all under one umbrella.
One thing, kind of mention, I've been here about 10 months, and one of the things that's been really exciting to see is this is a company that recognizes the shocking amount of change that the industry currently is going through. And it's looking to bridge that change, bringing back its best parts of its historic DNA and what it's always done well, and recognizing the absolute reality of where the customers and products are going and moving forward. So leveraging that skill set and what is still yet to come, the company has reorganized itself into 3 lines of business. One focused on UCaaS, a second one focused on managed services, and the third one, the one that I represent, is those historic managed access circuits. As Dave said, one of the key things that it's important that all the agents understand is, no, we're not getting out of the access business, but what we are doing is thinking about it and approaching it differently, in a far fundamental different way than we have historically. For us going forward, simply as Dick Jalkut, our CEO, has reminded me, it's an enabler. Going forward, it's an enabler. It cannot be that profit center that historically was and is, and still remains for some of our competitors, clearly. But going forward for us, it's an enabler to ensure that we have a great foundation with which to facilitate the increasing applications, be they UCaaS or other managed services that are riding on it, whether it's our own, or whether it's something that customers engage in with their existing provider.
I like how you describe that as a foundation, because that literally, I mean, you build a structure on a foundation. Talk to me a little bit about the different access types that you guys have access to. I mean, back in the Telepacific days, it's basically the assets you own, maybe, or some other
One of the things as
assets.
I came aboard was quick to understand that Dave had been spearheading an expansion of its geographic footprint. In other words, well beyond simply those kind of NNI based circuits that were hubbing back to NNIs, particularly in Texas and in California, those legacy former Telepacific markets. Increasingly, in light of both the DSCI acquisition that's brought us into the New England Northeast, but as well as the expansion nationally across the United States, which is exclusively way being led by our agent channel managers in those markets. We're having to embrace an access portfolio that encompasses far beyond those NNI circuits. So today, while we have NNIs that feed back the traditional TDM, TD1, Ethernet over copper, fiber end links, et cetera, we're also embracing what we refer to as HSIA. HSIA for many is good old-fashioned resold internet, although it's coming in a couple of flavors. It is both what I'll describe that kind of low-speed coax flavor from the cable providers, but it also includes the symmetrical fiber-based products from other cable providers and the RBox and others as well. And so it really is trying to identify what is the customer's goals. Do they already have existing access? Do they need us to provide it? Or do they need us to manage it? Are we complementing something?
Right.
What is they ultimately trying to do? So that's where our philosophy of trying to really legitimately be a trusted advisor kicks in. So we're, rather than spoon feeding them something that we want to sell them, really trying to assess and understand what do they need. Because let's make sure that whatever flavor of access that we do provide, it's going to facilitate these other applications.
Basically, long story short, if the customer needs something, you guys have access to it through your agreements, your arrangements, or through your own proprietary network. Talk to me real fast about the SD-WAN layer that layers on top of all that connectivity to make sure those cloud applications are rock solid.
It's super important for us, and we were right at the right time. SD-WAN showed up a few years ago, and what we were doing at the time, with access and with all the products that we were delivering over the top, SD-WAN came along and allowed us to do it with quality, and it's really worked out great for us. So
you're a VeloCloud shop, is that correct, Dave?
That is, and we're looking to add other providers as well. We don't want to be, we don't want to be a single, supplier, shop. But our offer thus far has been really VeloCloud oriented, and we've been very successful and very happy with them. We have gateways in our network, which is different than what you might find with other providers out there. And to your question earlier about some of the other services, because we have security services and because we offer unified communications, what's unique about us is, and having those gateways in our network, and whether we're providing the access or not, we can bring the services closer to SD-WAN infrastructure as well.
Awesome.
So we, as a carrier and as a network service provider, we can have those SD-WAN assets in our network alongside and adjacent to all the application services that we're also providing to increase the quality and minimize any of the finger pointing, and at the end of the day, provide a better experience for our customers.
Excellent. Well, in the time we have left, let's talk about two things real fast that many people don't typically relate with TPX. Number one is Microsoft. Never in a million years would a lot of people think Microsoft, whether it's Azure or Office 365 or whatever else. But you guys have seen some tremendous traction in that. And second, talk to me about security, whether it's firewall or just general cybersecurity products. Again, not typically related. Most people think MSSP type things, not telco providers. So talk to me about those two.
Sure. Well, first of all, we want to be a customer's managed IT provider. Okay, and as part of that solution set, we need to deliver a variety of different services. So it certainly starts with unified communications, but and managed SD-WAN is part of that. But so is what we call MSX Office 365. So what that is it's a managed service on top of Office 365. So a customer can come to us and subscribe to Office 365. We're happy to sell it to them. But really where the real benefit is for the customer is in leaning on us as their managed service provider for the Office 365 solution. So migrating them into the cloud, helping them with that transition maybe from an old Exchange platform. We help them with that. We have professional service support, number of resources in Portland, Maine and elsewhere who help with that. We handle the professional services with our own people.
So if our agents want to become MSPs, you're really a great conduit to helping them do that.
Definitely. And so,
wow.
And the same is true with security. So what we've done on the security side is we've built 2 security operations centers, as I mentioned earlier. We've hired some of the top security people in the country have come from defense-oriented backgrounds, and they're running our security services. So we have St. Louis and Portland, Maine, and we focus on cybersecurity both in terms of managed firewall as well as managed endpoints, and they've been very successful. The Office 365 has been successful for us. The managed security, managed firewall in particular, and managed endpoints as well. And what's really unique is the fact that a customer can come to us for unified communications and maybe managed SD-WAN, but then either as part of that initial sale or as, over time, they can add managed security as well. So they can come to us today for a solution, but grow that over time. So when they're ready to move their exchange into the cloud through Office 365, they can do so with us. And they could just keep coming to us. Managed backups as well as another.
Yeah, and that simplifies the necessity of when down the road they have to scale and the complexity. Well, you've got issues with one provider versus the other, so they can step into something relatively easy with this and then accelerate as their own business grows and requires and demands. One thing, Patrick, I would just follow on Dave's comments. Is a relative newcomer, it's been really interesting and surprising to see that our security offering and our other managed service offerings are not some recent Me Too, wave my hand in the air, that this comes, and part of the whole reason why the company that we acquired that has given us really this foundation to build this product set on, really they've been doing it for well over 10 years. And it's that legacy and that success that we're building on. So this is not our first security rodeo, if you will.
Yeah.
Excellent. So last question, tell me what my partners are doing wrong. Tell me what our partners are doing right. With TPX.
Sure. So we'll start with the ones who are doing it right. Those who see us as an MSP, a unified communications provider that's capable of delivering these other services, and that really helps them differentiate TPX and help build a solution that we don't think anybody else can really match and do it on a nationwide basis like we can. So those partners who are looking at us like that are doing it right and taking advantage of what we're able to do that's different than anybody else out there. The ones who are what we think might be doing it wrong are the ones that are trying to solve just today's problem. So when we have relationships with customers, those relationships go for 5, 10 years. Our top 10 customers that we have, they've all been around for more than 5 years.
Well, we've seen historically just our data with you guys that you guys have the lowest churn of any of our providers. I mean, once our customers go in, they don't leave.
Right. And so the importance of that is that the relationship is a long-standing one with us and the customer and the partner as well, whereby they might be deploying a unified communication solution today, but tomorrow they might need to look at their security practices. A few months later they might need to look at their backup practices, and they can keep coming to us each time that they are ready to move, depending upon where they are in their business cycle, move down one of those paths. And so I think one of the things that partners miss often is that they're trying to solve for today's problem only, and maybe it's a unified communications only for a business, and we think they might be missing out on the bigger picture of what that customer relationship is going to be over the next 5 to 10 years.
And maybe the person they're talking to about that bigger picture might be the person that doesn't have that vision themselves.
Exactly.
That's right.
So
That's
it's kind of about getting that expanded message to maybe somebody who would be more affected by that.
CFO,
vision.
CMO, at some of these businesses. So it's not just the IT, guy or gal anymore that we want to make sure we're talking to. Really need to talk about how develop more relationships than that, and then share how we can help outsource a lot of the IT services that many of these businesses are bogged down with every day, and that slow them down from building and growing their business. So we want them to look to us as a place to lean on, so they don't have to worry about it. We invest in all best-in-class technology, and we do that so our customers don't have to. And we integrate that technology in a unique fashion, and not just the technology, but the services that all work together, again, so our customers don't have to. You mentioned Microsoft earlier. We have Microsoft certified engineers, of course. We're a tier 1 CSP partner of Microsoft. We do that so our customers don't have to stay current with Microsoft. And the same is true with Fortinet, same is true with Unified Communications. And you go through each one of the different products we offer, we have those experts on-prem so that our customers don't have to keep up with all the technologies. They can grow their business. And the same is really true for the partner community as well. And it's a great opportunity for them to lean on our team of evangelists, of channel managers, solution architects as the experts to help them be the trusted advisor as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you, you guys, Dave, Nate. We appreciate you guys coming in and talking to us. We've been a partner with you guys for a very long time. In fact, one of the first partnerships we ever created here at Telarus was with Legacy Telepacific, now TPX. So
Great.
we appreciate all you guys have done for us over the years, for supporting our partners, and for continuing to invest in your business, just like we've invested in our business. Neither one of our businesses looks anything like it used to.
Yep, that's
and I think that's a fantastic thing. We're both really keeping up with the times and staying ahead of the curve. And I would really encourage agents out there that you give TPX a shot. Anything that comes up digital infrastructure related, don't pigeonhole yourself into one spot. Just keep your mind open and understand that TPX can really come in and help you take over more areas of a customer's business than ever before possible. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thanks
your
a lot.
business over the years.
Yep.
Appreciate you back. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.
Thanks.